a leader of the far-right Proud Boys extremist group, has been sentenced to 17 years in prison, one of the longest terms yet handed out over the U.S. Capitol riot that took place on January 6, 2021. The Proud Boys are a self-described Western chauvinist organization that has been involved in violent clashes with anti-fascist protesters, and has been designated as a hate group by the Southern Poverty Law Center. The group's leader, Joe Biggs, was convicted of seditious conspiracy and other charges in May for spearheading an attack on the U.S. Capitol to prevent the peaceful transfer of power from former President Donald Trump to President Joe Biden after the 2020 presidential election. Ensure you stay well informed by subscribing to our channel, Slant News. We provide the latest, most credible news. Thank you for considering us. Biggs, a 38-year-old U.S. Army veteran and former correspondent for the conspiracy website InfoWars, was sentenced on Thursday by District Judge Timothy Kelly in Washington, D.C. Kelly said that Biggs viewed himself and his movement as a second American Revolution where he and the other patriots would retake the government by force. Kelly also said that Biggs broke our tradition of the peaceful transferring of power in the United States and that his actions threatened not only the security of the Capitol, but democracy itself. According to prosecutors, Biggs was a vocal leader of the Proud Boys and employed his military experience to direct and control large groups of men under his command to lead a revolt against the government. Biggs organized and led several rallies in support of Trump's false claims of election fraud, and encouraged his followers to travel to Washington, D.C. on January 6. He also communicated with other Proud Boys leaders and members through encrypted messaging apps and social media platforms to coordinate their plans for the attack. On the day of the riot, Biggs wore tactical gear and a bulletproof vest and carried a walkie-talkie. He led a group of Proud Boys to breach police barricades and enter the Capitol building through a broken window. He then proceeded to roam the halls of Congress, confront law enforcement officers, and disrupt the certification of Biden's victory. He also recorded a video outside the Capitol, saying, "January 6th will be a day in infamy." In court, Biggs pleaded for leniency and expressed remorse for his actions. He said that he was caught up in the moment and that he did not intend to overthrow the government or harm anyone. He also said that he was suffering from post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, due to his military service in Iraq and Afghanistan. He asked Judge Kelly to consider his family, his service, and his contributions to society. However, Judge Kelly rejected Biggs' arguments and said that he showed no genuine remorse or acceptance of responsibility. Kelly said that Biggs' PTSD did not excuse his conduct and that he had a history of violent behavior and extremist views. Kelly also said that Biggs' family, service, and contributions were outweighed by the gravity of his crimes and the need to deter others from committing similar acts. The sentencing of Biggs is one of the most severe punishments imposed so far on any of the more than 600 people who have been charged in connection with the Capitol riot. The riot resulted in 5 deaths, including a police officer, and injured more than 140 others. It also sparked widespread condemnation from lawmakers, world leaders, and civil society groups. The sentencing also comes amid ongoing investigations into the role of extremist groups like the Proud Boys in planning and executing the attack. Several other Proud Boys leaders and members have been arrested and indicted on various charges, including conspiracy, obstruction of justice, assault, trespassing, and weapons offenses. Some of them have pleaded guilty and cooperated with prosecutors, while others have pleaded not guilty and are awaiting trial. The case of Biggs has also raised questions about how to deal with domestic terrorism and violent extremism in the United States. Some experts and advocates have called for stronger laws and policies to combat these threats, while others have warned against infringing on civil liberties and human rights. Some have also argued that Biggs' sentence was too harsh or too lenient, depending on their views on the nature and severity of his actions. The reaction to Biggs' sentencing has been mixed among different segments of society. Some have applauded Judge Kelly's decision as a just and appropriate response to Biggs' role in undermining democracy and endangering lives. They have also praised the work of law enforcement agencies and prosecutors in holding Biggs accountable for his actions. Others have criticized Judge Kelly's decision as a politically motivated and excessive punishment that violated Biggs' rights and freedoms. They have also accused the government of targeting Biggs and other Trump supporters for their political beliefs and expressions. The sentencing of Biggs is not the end of the story. but rather a milestone in a long and complex saga that has shaken the foundations of American democracy. The aftermath of the Capitol riot continues to have profound implications for the future of the United States, and its relations with the rest of the world. The challenges and opportunities that lie ahead will require courage, wisdom, and cooperation from all stakeholders and citizens.